Salvinia. Salvinia is an aquatic pteridophyte. It's an aquatic fern which serves the function of both food matter as well as shelter for the aquatic invertebrates as well as aquatic vertebrate juvenile form such as small fishes or fish fries. So hello friends, I am Ayantika. In this video I am going to discuss about this aquatic fern Salvinia, its overview, that is habitat distribution, economic importance, ecological importance, control measures if it becomes weedy, the external structure and anatomy of the fern as well as fossil forms found. In the next part of this video, I will be discussing about the reproduction and life cycle. So the video will be in two parts. This is the first part. I have also started making videos about pteridophytes where I have discussed another water fern, Marsilia, in two parts, and a link to those two videos I have put in the description box. So let's start the video with Salvinia. Salvinia belong to the class Polypodiopsida and order Salviniales. So Polypodiopsida, it is the class that includes all the water ferns, that is Marsilia, Pilularia, Regnalidium. Salvinialis includes those floating water ferns like Salvinia, Azolla. So this Salviniaceae family, it includes two genus, Salvinia, which is the topic of our discussion today, and another water fern, Azolla. So Salvinia, it is commonly goes by many names, for example Kariba weed or butterfly moss and watercress. Also it is called sorrow of Kashmir. This is because of the fact that Salvinia is actually in oligotrophic water, it does not spread that much, but in eutrophied water, it grows very rapidly and covers the entire surface of water bodies. So in Kashmir, all the Dal Lake and other lakes, we have this Salvinia natans growing over the whole surface of the water body, and this Salvinia molesta can be seen to be growing in the water bodies in the Kerala area. So the Indian species include Salvia natans, Salvinia molesta and auriculata. Out of the 40 species, only 3 to 4 species are abundantly found throughout the lakes in India. Other common species of Salvinia are Salvinia auriculata, Salvinia rotundifoliata. This is a very small species. This is a very small size species, very common in the aquaculture. So is the Salvinia minima. These two species, Salvinia minima and rotundifolia, are very common among the aquaculturists, the aesthetic aquaculturists, in where the Salvinia is used as a food and protection for the fish fries or even small fishes. So it prefers what are the habitat that it prefers? It prefers slow moving fresh water. So it will be found in lakes, very large lakes, as well as slow moving parts of the river, and that water should be a fresh water, and it grows very extensively in eutrophied water, means high nutrient amount of water, it grows very vigorously. But whatever be the nutrient level, it usually prefers very high sunlight and high humidity region. That is the tropical region where the sunlight and humidity is high, where it grows perennial condition, that is grows throughout the year, but under temperate conditions, the Salvinia, it is found to remain dormant during the very extreme cold temperature. Usually, Salvinia is found naturally in the tropical region, but in temperate garden also it is found to be grown, where during extreme cold temperature it undergoes period of dormancy. So it is cosmopolitan in distribution, and its origin is in South American countries, but due to its beauty, it has been cultivated throughout the world, where now they are in some countries they are considered weedy species because of excessive growth rate. So it has got many ecological significance. See, in height, under condition of high temperature and high humidity, that is especially temperature of 20 to 30 degrees C, this floating fern, it actually increases so much so much vigorous growth that it covers the entire surface of the water body. As a result, it shades the submerged plant and those benthic plants that are found in the water body. As the amount of sunlight reaching the bottom, it is reduced or cut off totally. So those plants, the submerged plants, they die out. As a result, this excess spreading of this Salvinia water fern, it causes species loss for other type of submerged plants, and also those animals that feed specifically on those submerged plants. So though the Salvinia, it looks very beautiful, but if the entire water surface is covered with this Salvinia, then what will do, it will reduce the biodiversity. It will reduce the native plants as well as the animals that are dependent. These are the ecological impact. Now, excess Salvinia in any water body, it usually impedes other activities like fishing, boating, and also in some countries they are considered very aesthetically displeasing. So, if there is no submerged aquatic plants, so naturally there will be reduction in the number of fishes because their amount of food is reduced, and so the amount of fishes that is present in such water bodies is also getting reduced. Also, when there is excess growth of Salvinia, some of the Salvinia will get old and it will die. Now, death of the Salvinia, it will fall to the bottom. It will fall to the bottom of the water body, where it will undergo decomposition. The bacteria decomposes it by using oxygen, the dissolved oxygen. If the decomposition of Salvinia is there, if a huge amount of Salvinia is getting decomposed, then this entire decomposition will reduce the dissolved oxygen in the water body. So the dissolved oxygen is reduced. Also, they are considered breeding grounds for mosquito. And but these are all the negative impacts. There are also many positive ecological significance. Now, the surface of the leaves have hydrophobic trichomes. Now, these trichomes, which are egg batter shaped trichomes that are present on the upper surface of the leaf, these trichomes are hydrophobic. That is, these are the trichomes. So these trichomes are hydrophobic, means that they are water repelling. So water repelling hydrophobic trichomes, they repel water, but they do not repel oil. So these type of trichomes is used for clearing oil spill. So we see that it is used in bioremediation. Also, because it is used to clean the oil spill. Also, if the water has high amount of nutrients, say for example water that is runoff water during the excess fertilization, such type of runoff water from agricultural field or industrial effluent, the water become eutrophied, that is rich in nutrient, and that nutrient can be reduced by using this salvinia, which takes up this nutrient for its own growth, and the amount of nutrient in water, it is reduced. Later on we can harvest this salvinia, and thus we are left with water that is having less amount of nutrient. And also the now salvinia, as it is a very, it is good looking fern, water fern, so it is used in aquaculture for the, in the aquarium it is used. And also in the aquarium, apart from having an aesthetic appeal, it also acts as a shelter ground for the fishes. Also the fish like to nibble on the submerged leaf of salvinia. So salvinia is in aquarium, it is a food as well as shelter for aquatic organisms like fish, snail, or any other invertebrate species that we put in our aquarium. So this type of salvinia is found commercially, it is found in the nursery. And also one ecological significance is that this weevil, salvinia weevil, it is entirely, its entire life cycle is dependent upon this salvinia. The female salvinia weevil, it lays egg. This is a female salvinia weevil we see here. It lays egg on the upper surface of the leaf of salvinia, and the young larva that comes out of the egg, it feeds on the leaves as well as the rhizome of salvinia, and it, as it becomes sexually mature, again the entire process of reproduction is completed. So the entire reproduction as well as the growth phase of these weevil, it is inside, it is completed in one plant, that is the salvinia plant. So if there is a loss of salvinia from water body, we will see loss of this salvinia weevil from that water body also. So in the aquarium, salvinia is placed in the aquarium because whatever waste product of the fish that can cause algal bloom in the aquarium, that algal, to prevent that algal bloom, the salvinia is also placed. So this is because salvinia utilizes the waste matter of fishes that is produced in the aquarium, that collects in the aquarium and causes bloom. So if you have salvinia, those amount of aquatic algal bloom in the aquarium can be totally it can be totally reduced, or totally it can there will be no bloom. So these are the three functions, that is food, shelter and shelter for the fishes, as well as to check aquatic bloom. Not only in aquarium, but also as because it uses the nutrient in the eutrophied water. So any water which is having bloom problem, those aquatic bodies can be the seed of salvinia, the salvinia should be cultivated in those type of aquatic bodies to prevent aquatic bloom. Also salvinia, it is less invasive than other type of aquatic and aquatic plants like the angiospermic plant, Ahornia crassipus, or the water hyacinth, or this duckweed. all these are far more invasive, far more difficult to remove from a water body than the salvinia. So okay, it can be easily used for bioremediation. Also, the harvested salvinia can be used as a mulching or fodder in and around the plant. This mulching and mulching, it helps in reducing the amount of moisture that is lost from around the plant body. So the around any plant, mulching is done especially in those areas where there is a high amount of aridity. The control measures. Mechanically, it is very easy to harvest it with hand, or if it is a large scale, then we use harvesters. And if it's a very large water body and we don't want to involve the harvesters, we want our entire biological, then we can have the salvinia weevil. And also there are chemical measures like herbicides, for example diquat, glyphosate, flumizine, and carfentrazone. But chemical process is not should not be used because already we have a lot of toxins in our atmosphere, and these herbicides, they have a very long period in the environment before they decay. So just because the chemicals, they have a high residence time in the water body, we should avoid using the chemical control measure. We can use mechanical or biological, but we should rarely use the chemical. The morphology. So this is how the salvinia species looks. We see this green leaves, and these are not the roots, these are the submerged submerged leaves. So entire body, it is divided into a horizontal creeping rhizome that is divided into nodes and internodes. So this portion is the nodes, and this portion is the internode. And the leaves that are borne on there are whole of 3 leaves. The green leaves, they are borne, these are the green leaves, they are borne on the dorsal surface, that is the upper surface, and the root like leaves, the submerged leaves, which look like root rather than the leaves, these submerged leaves are borne ventrally. So the entire sporophyte has a rhizome and leaf. There is no root system. Root system is totally absent. The stem or rhizome, what we can say, it is horizontal, it is floating, it creeps over the surface of water, and it is dichotomously branched, and the branching, it occurs at the internode. So if this is a rhizome, and there is this is the node, so branching, it occurs as a bud, as a stem bud, and this entire bud grows up into a new branch. So this branching, though dichotomous, it occurs at the nodes, and the entire rhizome is covered on the surface, it is covered by hair and scales. Now scales are nothing but very stiff hair which have a pointy penultimate cell, and so entire rhizome is covered by scales and hair, and they bear at the node, they bear the whole of 3 leaves. Note that they do not have roots. So the lateral branches, they arise from the nodal region, at the junction of the leaves, and the leaves are also dimorphic, that is it is photosynthetic and green photosynthetic, and the submerged leaf, it looks it has a different morphology, that is it is brown colored, and it does not have an entire pinna. Entire leaf blade is not entire, it is divided into many segments. In fact, it is filiform, which I'll discuss in the next video. Next This one is these are the submerged leaf. So, the green photosynthetic leaf, they have an entire pinna, sorry, not pinna, but leaf blade. So, the entire leaf blade is either semicircular or round or oblong, and the upper surface, it has papilloas here. That looks like an egg beater shaped, and the lower surface, it is covered with hair. So the upper surface of the photosynthetic leaf has trichomes, and the lower surface has got hair. The upper surface papilla, they are greenish in color, and the lower surface, that is this is, say for example, this is the leaf, and the upper surface has got papillous hairs, and the lower surface, it has got brown colored hair. So these are the brown colored hair, and this is the leaf, say for example, this is the leaf. So this leaf is usually very bright in color, but the photosynthetic leaf, it usually have a bleached appearance, bleached yellow or very light green color when it is growing in excessive low amount of nutrient, that is in the oligotrophic water. It becomes much lighter in color. So the floating leaves, their size varies from half to 1 inch. Actually, the size depends upon the species. So it also depends upon the nutrient condition, also the growth condition. For example, in a confined environment like lab and aquarium, this size of the leaf is very small. And then we come to the submerged leaf. Of the three leaves, we have two photosynthetic and one submerged type of leaf, which is filiform. Filiform means thread like. So the submerged leaf here, this is the submerged leaf. The submerged leaf, it is filiform or thread like, and we see that the entire leaf blade, it is segmented, and each of the segment, it is covered densely by brown colored hair. And in fact, this multicellular hair that cover the surface of the submerged hair, they are absorptive in function. So the main absorption function of absorption of water and nutrient, it is done by the multicellular hair that is born on the surface of submerged leaf. Otherwise, submerged leaf has got other function also. It acts as a balancer to maintain the buoyancy. So the main absorptive function, this is the picture how each of this multicellular hair looks like. So in the previous picture, we were seeing that the multicellular hair, they have at the tip of the multicellular hair was spongy, and this spongy top terminal cell, the spongy terminal region of the multicellular hair in the submerged region, they are the main absorption area. Now this here in this picture, we are seeing the upper surface of leaf, which has got this egg beater shaped trichomes. You see, this one is the egg beater shaped trichome, and on the surface of this trichome, in between the surface of this trichome, the eggs of this Salvinia weevil are kept. so that the larva the egg hatches into larva securely. And these trichomes, they are hydrophobic, that is, they do not love water, they repel water, but they, though they repel water, they also at the same time they are absorbing oily matter. So it is used, this due to this trichome, Salvinia is used to remove oil spills. So that was all about the external morphology. Now we see the anatomy. When the stem, we make a transverse section of the stem, we see that the stem, it has got stem or rhizome, it has got a single layer of epidermis. This is the single layer of epidermis. This single layer of epidermis, we see it is covered with, we see hair like structure. These are the hair. I don't know how much you can see it. These are the hair that is borne on the top of the rhizome. We know that the rhizome is covered with hair and scales. So this is how they look. They are borne on the upper surface, that is the epidermis. And next to the epidermis, one thing I should be saying, that epidermis, though it has cuticle, but it is not having any stomata. So stomata is not present in the rhizome or the stem. Only it is a single layer of parenchymatous cell surrounded by cuticle. Next to the epidermis is the cortex. And cortex, you see, it has got a lot of air chamber. These are the air chambers. So this cortex is full of air chamber. It is lacunate, and the air chambers, they are arranged in a radially. We see this radial type of symmetry. So next to the cortex, the lacunate cortex, is the stele, and the stele, it is surrounded by endodermis and pericycle. So from the upper layer, from the outside, we see the epidermis, single layer, and then is the lacunate cortex, and then we have the endodermis and pericycle, and inside the pericycle we have this stele, or the vascular bundles are arranged. And the stele, it has got xylem and phloem. So xylem is mainly tracheids. Now this the xylem has got only tracheids, but not other type of xylem, that is vessels and all. And the phloem, it is only the sieve cells and the phloem parenchyma. So the stele that we have is protostele, that is ectoploic siphonostele. This type of stele, where there is a central pith, and there is a, this one is the central pith, and this region, this entire region, it is the xylem, which is surrounded by this region. This is the phloem, and this is the endodermis and pericycle layer. So this is how the stem is ectoploic. Now we come to the anatomy of the leaf. The leaf, it is composed of outer epidermis, that is on the upper and the lower surface. This is the single epidermal layer. We see the lower epidermal layer and the upper epidermal layer, and in between the two epidermal layer, the single layer of epidermis on the upper and lower surface, we have a very highly vacuolated, highly erenchymatous mesenchyme. The photosynthetic tissue, where it is not differentiated into spongy and palisade, just one type of highly erenchymatous photosynthetic tissue. So this is all about the leaf anatomy. There is no differentiation of the photosynthetic tissue into spongy and palisade, and the stele that is present, it is at the base, it is amphifloic, and later on as we move higher it is ectofloic siphonostele. So amphifloic and ectofloic both are present. Amphifloic, this condition is found at the basal region, and as we move higher it is ectofloic. So we have two type of steles in the same leaf, and inside the stele we have xylem, so totally surrounded by phloem, and the phloem has got sieve cells and parenchyma, and the xylem has got tracheids. So only in both in the leaf and the stem we see that xylem is composed of only tracheids, and there is no vessels in the plant body of Salvinia. So that was about the anatomy, the external feature. Now we come to the fossil. We see that there are many fossil forms of Salvinia. Salvinia stewardi, Salvinia aureovalis, coahunensis, mildiana, salvinitis, and others, lot of Salvinia. But one thing that we notice here is that the most of the fossils, they are found in the Cretaceous period, and also they are found throughout the world, that is in the temperate region like Canada, as well as in the tropical region like Mexico. So they are found both in the temperate and tropical region, and mostly during the Cretaceous period. So most of this is the geological time scale. So mostly the fossils are found during this Cretaceous period, that is during the Mesozoic era it is found in the Cretaceous period, and during the Cenozoic era it is found in the Quaternary period. In Quaternary period also they are found mostly during this during the time of Eocene and the Miocene. So they are found mostly in the Quaternary period. This is found in the Eocene and in the Neogene it is found in the Miocene. So these are the period, that is the Cretaceous and the Tertiary, they are found in the fossil form, and in Tertiary they are found in the. So this was about the introductory video, that is the overview with habitat distribution, the external morphology, inner anatomy, and fossil form ecological importance, as well as the control measure of this water fern Salvinia. In the next part of the video I will be discussing about reproduction and life cycle of Salvinia. Now this video was based on the MSc syllabus. So in case you are in MSc or BSc, so I make videos on the MSc and BSc topic. So do subscribe my channel to get access to more such videos on based on your MSc and BSc syllabus. And if you like this video, do share it with your friends, hit the like button, and also do subscribe to my channel to get access to such videos and also to encourage me. Thank you for watching this video.